Well, do I have a monstrous update for you on the Activision Blizzard internal battle going on, including I have now confirmed that there is a walkout planned for tomorrow, July 28th, 2021, and I'm with them. I also want, before I get into the really unfortunate stuff, I want to shout out to obviously the overwhelming majority of Blizzard employees that are awesome people. I think that I've done a poor job in the past differentiating between the grinders, the people that make the thing go there, and the executives or the political alignments of that company. And I apologize for that. I believe very strongly that the number may be as high as 99% of employees at Blizzard are good people. Even if, we disagree on political things or whatever. I mean, just in general, good people trying to make video games, working for a company that they love and that they are genuinely heartbroken at. Quite honestly, the egg they must wear on their faces because of the decisions that their company is making. It's not, Joe Coder or Jane QA's fault that some cringe lord C-level manager is groping women. But when they go out in public and they say they work at Blizzard for the next how many weeks, this is the response that they're going to get. Ooh, I heard about that. And that's not fair, and that sucks. So, you have my support, Blizzard employees, and to the maybe 25 or 30 of you that have emailed me, I support you, and I appreciate you sharing the advice or information or helping confirm stories and rumors that I've heard. Now, let's start with yet another person coming out and slamming Activision Blizzard. WoW and Diablo composer slams Activision Blizzard amid lawsuit. Thousands of Activision Blizzard employees have come forward about their working experiences during the ongoing suit. Beloved composer Russell Brower, who worked on WoW, StarCraft, and Diablo franchises, has also made his thoughts very clear. He came out and changed his banner. He joins former Blizzard co-founder and President Mike Morhaime, as well as over 1,000 current employees denouncing the company's treatment of their staff. Here's the thing about Mike. From everyone I talked to, he knew about all of this. He knew about all of it. That's what I'm told by both current and former Blizzard employees. Reacting to the claims made in the suit, the composer altered his Twitter biography to read composer, music director, conductor, World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft. I wish I could get those 12 years of my life back. Before the news dropped, that second sentence wasn't there. His cover image is also the iconic Jade Blizzard logo with bright red no entry sign across it, making his sentiment towards the company very, very clear. And again, most of the people at the top knew. In fact, I talked about this yesterday. Blizzard Dev says some men were also subject to the bad behavior. Shortly after the news broke, one male former Blizzard developer shared on Twitter that he had experienced bad behavior from other men at the company. The developer said that it included unwanted shoulder rubbing, hookup proposals, conversations about hooking up in front of colleagues who stayed silent. The issues weren't, however, taken to HR, this individual said, because they believed that would lead them to become general gossip around the office. When he told other colleagues they excused it, he said. Kevin Meyer, whose LinkedIn page said he's a personnel manager at Blizzard but appears to have left, said in a TikTok video that the claims against the company are true. The TikTok, which made its rounds on Reddit and Twitter, reaffirms many of the claims made out in the California complaint and says the harassment was endemic. In Activision Blizzard's response, they said this does not represent Blizzard is. Meyer said, yes, it does and has for a long time. Since my first day back in 2012, I was harassed, and women have it way worse. He was criticized by some former Blizzard employees of engaging in the toxic behavior himself, though it isn't entirely clear what the nature of those claims were. He did not immediately respond to requests for comment. See, here's the thing. I've been talking to both male and female Blizzard employees, and one particular female who I'm sure will want to remain anonymous, I asked her about this. I said, how does this happen? How does, like, you know, my general approach to this going into it was like, it's just kids being kids. Probably just a couple of snowflakes getting upset about things. And I'm sure that there is some of that. But I said, how does this happen where everybody in the office is just getting hammered and, you know, there's, you know, bad things happening and nobody seems to think that any of it's wrong? And she told me something pretty interesting. She basically said, when you're in it, it feels normal. You think it's normal. And it's not until you leave and you get in another environment where you're like, whoa, actually, that was pretty messed up. And that's indicative of what a lot of people were sharing with me via email. Now I want to get to what sounds like one of the worst, the absolute worst people involved in all of this. I want to be very careful because this person is powerful, well connected, but I did my due diligence. I received very similar stories from no less than, well, several employees, and confirmed it with both former and current employees. Some of these employees have been there over the last 15 years, so they would know. Or over the last 5 or 10 years. This stuff is not, it's an open secret, essentially, inside of Blizzard is what I'm told. I'm told that there's this clandestine or like, there is this air of secrecy. You're in this club, so you don't say anything. But I had been receiving tips on the same C-level employee over and over again. Now, C-level is like at the same level as the CEO, okay? You're talking about at a company in Blizzard size, maybe 2 or 3 positions at the C-level. This is the executive of the executive. The only person over C-level would be, in some org charts, the president. And then, of course, the board of directors. But they're not involved in the day-to-day. This person came very well decorated, working on some of the most popular games you'd ever heard of, okay? So I've been hearing some things. An employee came through, and here are some of the claims that have been corroborated by both male and female employees whom I've spoke with directly via Telegram, Discord, email, and phone calls. Here's a personal anecdote. One day I came into work and there was an email from Morheim that quietly mentioned this person didn't work here anymore, which I thought was odd because usually there's a long, we wish you the best kind of email, especially when you have this like high-level person no longer coming through. Turns out the HR rep, and I'm not going to say her name, who also happened to be incredibly attractive, was sleeping with him. She was fired first, which, first of all, is messed up. When you find out an employee's hooking up with a manager or boss, first of all, that person in the higher position, they're definitely gone. But in most cases, it's both. I've gone through this at several companies I've worked at, and in every case, both people were terminated, including at one company I worked at, the vice president was hooking up with his assistant. What an idiot. Anyway, then it came out that this dude was having private parties where he would privately hand select only Asian women around the office to come to these parties. When they got there, he would grope them and do God knows what else. The guy has scrubbed his online presence. Can't find anything about him at all. In fact, the LinkedIn still says he works there. This same person also shared stories about all sorts of other issues. Now, I'm going to open the app that I used to confirm this. Hold on a second. Because I then asked another, because this is such a bombshell statement that, and this is not public. Nobody knows this yet. Unless you work there, of course. I then asked a female employee that I think is, if I'm remembering correct, is still currently employed. I shared that section of the anecdote, and I said, does this jive with what you've heard? Her reply simply, this is true. I said, how do they keep a lid on all of this? Her reply, he was fired after enough allegations came out, and the alcohol policy was put in place simply because of that. There's a culture of secrecy. People think talking about these things is some sort of NDA violation. On top of that, the fact that people are scared of these folks. They have the power to destroy someone's career. This dude was hooking up with multiple women at the company, and he had them all convinced that they were special. By the way, this is a C-level employee. You're talking at the tippity top of this company. I said, just look the guy up, doesn't, not much to look at. I'm going to make sure that this sees the light of the day. Then this person, it was claimed, and by the way, I'd heard this at least twice before, that this C-level person had made some sort of comments about selling women for hookup experiences. I don't know if that was referring to internal employees. I'm assuming it was. This never saw the light of day inside of Blizzard. It's out there now. Of course, I'll share the name with the proper authorities should they ask. But this, you should be, I mean, this is a big dude at the company. There's no doubt that Mike Morheim knew about it. And now he's out there pretending like, oh, well, these creeps. Ooh, if only I knew. They all knew. It's disgusting. Please share this video. Get it out there. If you haven't yet, there's a red subscribe button down below the video. Please click that. We'll talk to you again real soon.